RC Racing Heat Race number 1, and this is how they will line up. In the front row in the 71 out of Boonville, Arkansas, it's the 71 of Jay Rearson. And on the outside of him in the 1 USA, Chris Hawkins out of Neosho, Missouri. And then it'll be the 15A of Mike Anderson. And then on the outside of Mike will be the 18C of Tracy Cottrell. And then in your third row in the inside will be the 88M of Jeremy Maines. On the outside of him will be the 55 of Brandon Cheek. The green flag is out and we're racing as Hawkins takes the early advantage and takes over the first place spot as this 2 wide back there for second between Rearson and Anderson. Hawkins takes lap number 1. And now we're 3 wide back there. Rearson, Anderson, and the 88 of Maines all battling back there for second. And now Anderson takes over the second spot. The caution is out as the 18C of Tracy Cottrell has turned over in turn number 2. Your leader, the USA 1 of Chris Hawkins out of Neosho, Missouri, in that rocket sponsored by Double Down Asphalt. As the 71 of Jay Rearson from Boonville, Arkansas will take over the second spot as we go back to the last lap. So the 15A of Mike Anderson will drop back to third as the 71 of Rearson will go into second. But your leader is the USA 1, Chris Hawkins. As now the 71 will choose the bottom or the top. So Hawkins, your leader. Rearson in second. Anderson in third. As the 71 of Rearson chooses the bottom, the 15A of Mike Anderson will go on the top of the 71. Then the 88 of Jeremy Maines will be in there, the next row behind them, and on the outside of them will be the 58 of Brandon Cheek, and then it'll be the 18 of Tracy Cottrell. The lights are off around the mighty Midway Speedway. Can Hawkins hold off Rearson and Anderson as they roll in nicely coming out of forward? Green flag is out and we're racing. As Maines now on the inside of the 15 of Anderson. As Hawkins, your leader. Anderson in second. The 88 of Jeremy Maines in third. Hawkins out in front as now the 88 of Maines now battling on the 15A, but the 15A breaking away from the 88 as we are single file now all the way around the racetrack. as Hawkins is your leader. Anderson in second. Manus is in third. As the caution comes out for the 18C of Tracy Cottrell, that is 2 turns by himself. That is 2 spins by himself. So a rule for the Cash Money Late Model Series, if you spin twice by yourself, you go to the pits. So your A feature tonight will be determined by the top 14 in passing points, and then we'll have our B features. So the one of USA 1 of Chris Hawkins out in front, representing the red, white, and blue on this Memorial Day weekend. Can he hold off the 15 of Mike Anderson? As the green flag is out, and we're racing. Now Hawkins with the little ground coming out of 2, but here comes Anderson. And Manus is right there behind him as they're 2 wide back there for second. And Hawkins is your leader, as he will see the white flag. 1 more lap to go in your KRC Racing Heat Race number 1. Coming to the checkered flag, it will be the USA 1 of Chris Hawkins, the 88 of Jeremy Manus second, the 15 of Mike Anderson third, the 88 of the 55 of Brandon Cheek, fourth. Ladies and gentlemen, in the red, white, and blue USA 1, representing tonight for Memorial Weekend, it's the 1 of Chris Hawkins taking home. He was last year's Tony Roper champion, and now pulling onto the racetrack was the Powertrain Industries Heat Race number 2. Here's your lineup. In the inside on the front row, it'll be the 7 W of Cole Wells, Wheelerville, Missouri. In your second, on the outside of him will be the 1 of Tony Fincher. In your second row, in the car number 30, will be the 30 of Don Boyd. On the outside of him will be the 20 of Dusty Minningham. In your third row, it's the 23 of Mark Simon. And on the outside of Mark Simon will be the 15 of Kylan Gardner. The lights are off, green flag is out, and we're racing. As we're almost 3 wide back here for a second, now we're 2 wide between the 1 of Tony Fincher and the 30 of Don Croyd. As the 7 of Cole Wells is out in front all by himself. Now here comes the 23 of Mark Simon. The 23 of Mark Simon now taking over the third spot in your Powertrain Industries Heat Race number 2. Simon in second. Coy is in third. Single file all the way around the racetrack. The 7 of Cole Wells, sponsored by Midwest Sheet Metal. Out in front. And that white and pink number 7, as he sees the white flag. One more lap to go. As Mark Simon is in second. The 30 of Don Coy, as we're back there battling for third. The 7 of Cole Wells takes home heat race number 2. And the Powertrain Industries heat race number 2. Mark Simon second, Dusty Mooneyham third. Great race there in our Powertrain Industries heat race number 2. As up next will be our Homes by Roth heat race number 3. And this is how they will line up. And in your front row on the inside will be the 82 of Jace Crumley out of Neosho, Missouri. In your second row, and on the outside of him will be the 47 of Melvin Pitchler. And then in the second row will be the quarter of Brandon Hunter out of Van Buren, Arkansas. And then on the outside in this 160M, Michael Magritte out of Republic, Missouri. In your third row on the 33 will be Mike Bittner. And then on the outside of Mike Bittner will be the 1/4 of Aaron Scroggins. Green flag is out and we're racing. That's Crumley getting caught up there in turn number 2. And the quarter of Brandon Hunter, now your leader. Hunter, Crumley, now here comes Bagger. Bagger now on the inside of Crumley for second. As the 160M of Michael Magritte is in second. The 82 of James Crumley is in third. In your Homes by Roth heat race number 3. Second. Now the 47 of Melvin Pitchler is in third. Now the 33 of Bittner now on the inside of the 82 of Jace Crumley. Hunter, one more lap to go. At the 160M, finding a little power there. But coming out of 4, it'll be heat race winner number 3, the 1/4 of Brandon Hunter. The 60M of Michael Magritte second. The 47 Melvin Fitzler, third. So in the 1/4 out of Van Buren, Arkansas, in the 1/4 it's Brandon Hunter. Holmes by Roth, heat race winner number 3. And that Masters built. And here comes the Extreme Friction Fighter, heat race number 4. In your front row, in the inside of the 88 of John Driscoll. On the outside of him will be the 14S of Sean Strong. In your second row will be the 5G of Garrett Essery, and on the outside of him, out of Lebanon, Missouri, the 42 of Brandon McCormick. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, your cash money point leader in the 14 of Brad Looney. Extreme Friction Fighter heat race number 4. Green flag is out, and we're racing. And Driscoll down in front. Essery now in second. Here comes the 14 of Looney now on the inside of the 5G. Now here comes Brandon McCormick as we're 3 wide back there for second. Brandon McCormick now taking over the second spot. He has his eyes set on the 88 of Driscoll. Now the 5G make a little contact there with the 14 of Brad Looney and will bring out the caution. As the 5G of Garrett Essery made contact with the Midwest Sheet Metal point leader, the 14 of Brad Looney. So we'll line back up as the 88 of Driscoll has his work put out for him, as the 42 of Brandon McCormick and the 14 of Brad Looney is in the row behind him. The lights are off around the mighty Midway Speedway. The green flag is out, and we're racing. As Brandon McCormick now trying to work on the inside of Driscoll, but Driscoll having a lot of power coming out of 2. And now Brad Looney making the slide over move, and now taking over the second spot. Now Brad Looney has his eyes set on the 88 of Driscoll. Now Looney on the inside of the 88. Coming to the line, it'll still be Driscoll on that lap. Now Looney on the inside. Driscoll on the outside. Side by side, going down the back straightaway. As the final heat race of the night for our Cash Money Late Model Series, it's going to turn out to be a great one. As the 88 of John Driscoll saying, Brad Looney, you've won enough. I'm going to make you work for it. Now Brad Looney taking a little advantage, coming out of 4, taking over a lead and taking a little gap. As the 42 of Brandon McCormick now has his eyes set on the 88 of Driscoll. Looney, your leader, the 42 of McCormick now on the inside of the 88. Can the 88 of Driscoll hold off the 42 of McCormick? As now McCormick takes advantage and takes over the second spot. But I believe he won't have enough time for the 14 of Brad Looney. As just 2 more laps to go for the 14 of Brad Looney. Coming out of 4. White flag is out. 1 more lap to go for the 14 of Looney. And there he is, your Extreme Friction Fighter heat race winner number 4, the 14 of Brad Looney. The hometown man, Brandon McCormick, coming home second. The 88 of John Driscoll coming home third. And that will do it for our Malvern Bank Cash Money Late Models heat races. 3. Start your engines. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the main event tonight. The Malvern Bank Cash Money Late Models presented by Malvern Bank and Midwest Sheet Metals. Your feet. Let's show these late model drivers support as these drivers go around the racetrack. Let's get up on your feet, ladies and gentlemen. Show these drivers that you appreciate them. Give them a big old round of applause. Get out your cell phones as these drivers, $1,000 on the line tonight. Pit side, give them a big old wave. Grandstand side, when they come down the front straightaway, if you want to, stand up on your feet, clap your hands, give them a big wave, give them a big thumbs up. Let these guys know you appreciate them for coming out to Lebanon Midway Speedway. Here they come, ladies and gentlemen. Give them a big old wave, a round of applause. Let them know you appreciate them. It's the 19th annual Tony Roper Memorial at Midway Speedway. The Buds Tire and Wheel. Amen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as they give the 4 wide salute, ladies and gentlemen, stand up on your feet. Show these race fans or race car drivers that you appreciate them as they come down the front straightaway. Come on, everybody. Get on your feet. They'll be giving you the wave. Let's show them the appreciation here at Midway Speedway for coming out tonight as they give you the 4 wide salute. Great job, everybody. Warmed up their tires. We'll go through the lineup once again. It will be the 23 of Mark Simon. On the outside of Mark Simon will be the USA 1 of Chris Hawkins. In row number 2 on the inside will be the 20 of Dusty Mooningham. On the outside of Dusty Mooningham will be the 7 of Cole Wells, as the 42 of Brandon McCormick having trouble, so he'll go to the rear. So in your 3rd row will be the 88 of Jeremy Manus. On the outside of Jeremy Manus will be the 160M of Michael Maggard. Then in your 4th row will be the 1/4 of Brandon Hunter. On the outside of Brandon Hunter on the outside of Brandon Hunter will be of Anderson. And then in your next row will be your point leader, Brad Mooney in the 14. Here we go. The lights are off. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our main event, the Bud's Tire and Wheel. Amen. Will we have...
Caution, back her down, caution. Caution.
As the 71 Rearson have broken the front end, so he'll pull off the racetrack. As he's raced here many times here at Lebanon Midway Speedway. In your front row is the 23 of Mark Simon. On the outside of Mark Simon, 1 year ago, he won the Tony Roper Memorial. It's the one of Chris Hawkins. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We got a great Bud's Tire and Wheel feature on hand for us tonight. As they are on the mighty Midway Speedway POWRi tonight. Keep your eye on the 14 of Brad Looney, as tonight he has a lot of work ahead of him. 30 laps, I believe, is your distance tonight. We'll see who ends up in the VP Racing Fuel victory lane tonight. The lights are off once again. The Malvern Bank Cash Money Late Model Series. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Get on the edge of your seats, pick you out a winner, because we're getting ready. The Rumble here tonight. The green flag is out, and we're racing. As Mark Simon, your leader, Hawkins down on the outside, on the outside. Here comes 3 wide down there, and the caution is out.
Back it down.
The caution is out, as we have the 47 of Melvin Pritchler, and I believe the 1/4 of Scroggins over there. And the 18 of Cultural over there. So the 42 of Brandon McCormick having issues in the 42 machine, so he took his 1 lap. So he'll go into the pits. Tough break for him, but hopefully he'll get things together and be back here on July the 5th for Gary Woodall. Memorial. As Brad Looney supporting the neon green spoiler for the point leader. We'll see if his winning streak will come to an end tonight as we'll go to an original restart. So the 23 of Mark Simon in your front row. Chris Hawkins on the outside of him. The 20 of Dusty Mooneyham in your second row on the inside. On the outside of Mooneyham will be the 7 of Cole Wells. And your third row will be the 88 of Jeremy Manus. As the 160M Michael Maggard will be on the outside of the 88. Then it's the 1/4 of Brandon Hunter. On the outside of Brandon Hunter will be the 15A of Mike Anderson. Here we go. The lights are off. The green flag is out and we're racing. As the caution is out, as the 47 Melvin Pritchler in the 30 Don Boyd
Guys, we gave you the light. You couldn't do it. Single file, you have to go green.
That's the 30 of Don Coy. Well, so we'll go single file now. So the drivers have 2 chances at a restart. So they'll go single file. So Mark Simon, still your leader. The 1 of Chris Hawkins in second. Dusty Mooneyham in third. Cole Wells in the 7 and fourth. The 88 of Jeremy Manus in fifth. The 160M of Michael Maggard. And then there's the point leader, the 14, Brad Looney. So the 1/4 of Brandon Hunter will make his way in front of the 160 of Michael Maggard. And then the 14 of Brad Mooney will be behind the 160. And then it will be the 15A of Mike Anderson. as they line back up.
5 G's split. We're going to go in between. 33 will be track 30.
Mark Simon, one of the regulars here at Midway Speedway, is your leader. We talked to him before the race. He wants to be in the VP Racing Fuels victory lane and end the streak of the 14 of Brad Looney. As Brad Looney now is over in the chute. So the 14 of Brad Looney will follow behind the 160M of Michael Maggard. So the lights are off as the flagman points the green flag up in the air, giving them the 1 to go sign. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Can Mark Simon hold off the 1 of Chris Hawkins? As they're rolling nicely in turn number 3 going into 4. Green flag is out and we're racing. Mark Simon, you're in leader. Chris Hawkins in second. Dusty Mooneyham in third. As we're 2 wide. Down here, that's the finish. The 18 of Jimmy Venus in the 1/4 of Brandon Hunter. Simon out in front. Now, side by side action down there with 88 and Garrett Mays as we go sideways in turn number 2. And the 88 of Jeremy Manus will bring out the caution as he's down there in turn number 2. CNS Towing will be hooking up to the 88 of Jeremy Manus. Mark Simon will still be your leader. Chris Hawkins, last year's winner, was in second. So, Mark Simon, the 23, your leader, a regular here at Midway Speedway. From Buffalo, Missouri, Simon Transport, the proud sponsor. So the 23 of Mark Simon out by himself. The 1 of Chris Hawkins. And down in the row on the inside, on the outside of it will be the 7 of Cole Wells. Your next row, the 20 of Dusty Mooneyham. On the outside of Dusty Mooneyham is the 1/4 of Brandon Hunter. And in your next row will be the 160M of Michael Maggard. On the outside of Michael Maggard will be the 14 of Brad Looney. Here we go, I draw, green flag is out, and we're racing. Out in front, but here comes the 7 of Cole Wells. Now he's working on the outside of the 23 of Mark Simon. Now the 7 of Cole Wells going on in behind, but here he comes. Now on the top 5 is the 14 of Brad Looney. Brad Looney. Now, at the 9 we're on the 1 and we're 35 out here. It's going to be Brandon Hunter. Michael Maggard is the 20 of Dusty Mooneyham. Back there for 5th. And as Brandon Hunter pulled away. And here comes the 7 of Cole Wells. Down on the inside is Mark Simon. Down Simon. Cole Wells will now be your new race leader. Mark Simon is second. Brad Looney now working on the 23 of Mark Simon. Now Brad Looney on the outside. Brad Looney on the outside. Mark Simon on the inside. As Cole Wells slips up there in turn 1 and 2. So the 23 will be back to the lead spot. And the 14 Brad Looney now working on the inside. Brad Looney, your new race leader. Now, Mark Simon, Cole Wells battling side by side. Sideways in the bottom of turn number 2. He's been the dominating face of the Malvern Bank Cash Money Late Models, and now he's your leader in the point standings, and now your leader in tonight's Bud Tires and Wheels Tony Roper Memorial. Brad Looney out of Republic, Missouri. Looney Underground. And the neon green spoiler. Here we go, the lights are off. Looney out in front. Cole Wells on the inside. On the outside of Wells will be the 23 of Mark Simon. And your next row will be the 1/4 of Brad Hunter. And 160M of Michael Maggard. The lights are off. Green flag is out and we're racing. Now the 1/4 of Brad Hunter. Take over the third spot. as the 1/4 of Aaron Scroken has a flat left rear. So the 7 of Cole Wells will have another shot here after 14 of Brad Looney. But the 1/4 of Brandon Hunter. Here we go. The lineup is good. So Brad Looney, your leader. Cole Wells in the 7. On the outside of Cole Wells with the 1/4 of Brandon Hunter as he started 4th. Or he started in your 3rd row.
Go behind the 82. Right now, right behind you.
So they'll line back up. Brad Looney, your leader. Cole Wells in the 7. On the outside of Cole Wells will be the 1/4 of Brandon Hunter. In your top 5 is the 15, that's Kylan Garner. Kylan started 13th, and he's already up in the top 5. So keep your eye on that 15. Here we go. Green flag is out, and we're racing. Here comes Garner. Now Garner making his way to the 3rd spot after starting 13th. Pulling into the pits. The caution is out as the 18 of Cottrell made contact at the back straightaway. So the 18 of Cottrell will be 2 cautions for him. So 14, Looney, your leader. Then Cole Wells chooses the bottom. As the 15 of Kylan Garner on the outside of the 7. As Garner has charged his way through the field. Here we go, 18 laps down. 12 laps to go. The lights are off around the mighty Midway Speedway for the Bud's Tire and Wheel. Amen. Green flag is out and we're racing. Caution is out as the 23 of Mark Simon.
Single fall, come on, get the single fall here. Single fall.
Bringing out the caution. Oh, we're in turn number 2. So they'll go single file. Single file all the way around the racetrack. So Blooney, your leader. Cole Wells in second. The 15 of Garner is in third. The quarter of Hunter is in fourth. The 160M of Maggard is in fifth. So Brad Looney, your point leader, is your leader tonight in the 19th annual Tony Roper Memorial. So as they get the line correct here. Brad Looney will be your leader. Cole Wells in second. Gardner in third. A quarter of Brandon Hunter in fourth. The 160M of Michael Maggard in fifth. The one, Chris Hawkins. Here we go, green flag is out and we're racing. Woody out in front. Well, in second. Garner now has his eyes set on the 7 of Cole Wells. Now here comes Brandon Hunter now on the inside. As he'll come take over the third spot, the 1 quarter. Now Garner taking over the first spot. As these two are trading places. Now Hunter will follow for the 14th of Brad Looney. White flag is out for the 14th. One more lap to go. Coming out of 4th. It's the 14 of Brad Looney. The 7 of Cole Wells, second. So, ladies and gentlemen, familiar face to the VP Racing Fuels. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, in the VP Racing Fuels victory lane. It's the 14 of Brad Looney. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, holding the $1,000 check. In the VP